Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another NoobTorial. This one a little on how I do my voice settings, how I set them up, and what I use. So let's get quickly to what I use. What I use is these two things. So it's voice banana. First of all, that I use the voice meter, the banana version. These are all donation type software. So donate type software. So depending what you purchase and blah blah blah, you get different stuff. And also I use the virtual cables. I just use one. You donate and you get I think it's 2 of them if I'm not mistaken. You guys could go through. What I'll do is I'll actually put this link also down in my video description so you guys know where to get this software. And let's get this out. This is what that looks. This is always running in my background, and we'll explain you how that works. That works in configuration with this, which is what I was telling you guys with the audio cable, which is this one, virtual audio cable. So once you get them down, you download them, you open them, and you basically use them like that. One thing I did, and is very important in properties here in your cables, you need to go advanced and make sure all of them are the same. If they're different, you're gonna have issues. I had some issues for that. So put them all the same, whatever you want to put them, quality wise, whatever you want. Just make sure it's the same between all of them. And a little quick explanation of how I'm working, because of the way my headsets are. They're basically plugged on this TV, like you guys see the where you are, the Sony TV. They're actually plugged on that, and they're Bluetooth to me Sennheisers. They don't have a mic on them, so it's a little different how I done it. But then you have in your voice meter, you have basically the main voice meter VO, which is this one here. You have your equalizers, treble, bass. You guys could play with that, forward, back, front, whatever you want to do. So you could actually change that. And then you have your voice meter auxiliary. So what I did is I actually use my voice meter regular one as default device. So that's the one that I default to. And this one I use basically for when I play the music and that. I usually so this one I use when I do my as a default device for auxiliaries. So basically in OBS I pick this one just from some OBS stuff. So I'll show you guys that later. So you're gonna need to play with this. So what I do is I use the default, so all my sound actually goes through. If I ping it, you guys are probably gonna hear that because it comes out as main game out. It comes out to this one here. Now if I take the, let's say an example here quickly. I take this video, it's a little self-promotion here, and I play it. You guys see that the sound actually comes out from there and not from my main one. So if I ping my main one, it's actually a separate sound. So you guys see how it's separately sounded, and then it gets all mixed into this mixer. I'll explain, I'll get into the details of that. I'm just showing you guys a quick view. And then if I pull out my OBS, if it wants to let me work. So you guys see the mic is mine. Then you see here that this sound of my video is not popping out anywhere because it's actually here in the Discord chat. So the way I set it up is that how you set it up is you go in properties, and I used the virtual audio cable as device. So same thing here, my main mic, if you go in properties, I use the microphone, that's my microphone. And then if we go here in main game out, which if I ping my computer, that little ding ding sound you get is gonna show up there. And basically the same thing, properties is basically speaker VB voice VAO. So that's the main one here. That's where all my game sound comes out from. So that's the 3 extra things I have in here. And if I actually add the music play, you guys are actually going to hear in the background my video. Where is music play? So if I do this, it adds basically, it's going to add an extra sound bar in here, under here. So let's fade it in there. So as you guys see, I have the extra bar in here, which is basically epidemics. So that one is my, if you go in properties, my auxiliary. So what I did is basically when I play my music, it plays it through this one. So I'll get into these, but it just give you a quick concept because it's going to help. That's what I lost a lot of my headache for. So if I go to music play and I go in the browser, interact, that's how I do my music, and I have it in the background. So let's say we take that and then we hit play. Let's move this aside. Give me a second. So as you guys see, once I hit play here, you basically see, and you guys are going to hear the music. So I could mute it, and then we have the music. And if we come here, this is my output. So this goes directly to my earphones. So if you guys see, I could boost it up and your sound volume doesn't change anything. So that's how I play with my earphones. So it gives you an idea on a quick setup here. So in OBS also, you're gonna have to do your why I'm showing this, your inputs at the right places. Let me turn that off so you guys don't get too much music. So we'll mute this for now. We don't need this. We'll go back to PC games. We'll leave it on, but we'll leave it as is. Come here. I'm gonna just mute this. Actually, I'll just pause the gameplay. Let's go a little further where I get... There we go. We got sound on it because I'm gonna need it for later to show you guys. So, first things first. Once you download the audio cable 2, you come here, you get it. You gotta make sure it's not disabled. So you gotta enable it. So like here, I disabled all my other inputs. So you gotta make sure, I don't have speakers in that. So I disabled everything else so it doesn't make any mess. And these are enable and these are enable. So you come here and like I said, you make sure they're all the same type in properties again. You go advanced, see they're all both the same type. So once you've done that, and you set that and you enable that, this is where it comes the fun part and where I broke my head a couple of hours to figure it out. All right, so the basically voice meter or banana is split into 3 parts. 2 are inputs and 1 is outputs. So your first 3 here are basically, can I do this? Oh yeah, look. So these 3 here are inputs. Okay, that you could choose, and these 2 here in the middle are inputs, but that you can't really you can't change. They're the basic inputs. So if you come up here, there's no option. So this is your main and this is your auxiliary. So you could separate those inputs. And here, I won't talk about recording because I don't use it, but It's basically your output and recording, and also your levels that go in your equalizer, not for the recording if you want to do the recording sound. These don't affect what comes out of these. You gotta actually come in here to do the equalizers there. There's advanced properties. I'm not going to get into those because I don't use them. One, as you guys see, everything is basically centered. Voice here, you can move these. I just keep it centered. It's the best I found. Same thing with compression. You could put gates already on this, so I don't do that. Hardware inputs. So now this where I had fun playing around. If you click here, you see you have plenty of hardware inputs. So you have every output, that you have. So you have your microphone in here. The WDM and the MME is just codes. Try them, see which one works better for you. So what I did is I put my virtual cable. So one was selected as the virtual cable. So the input goes virtual cable, comes back here and comes out through the output, which is A1. These are basically bare. I could do double outputs if I want on it. If I had another cable, I could put another cable for another use, but right now these are not used. I just use the first column. And I don't know why this is selected, but anyways. So, and these are your mains. So these can't be changed. You could change the equalizer, treble, bass. So if you want to put your mic on one of these, you could do it. And then the outputs is the other fun part, is you have your outputs that you could select, which are your virtual outputs. So like you see, my main one, A1, is my Sony output. So basically whatever pops out on the Sony goes all the way to my earphones. So that's why the main one is my Sony. So if I have when my earphones aren't on, when I do a ping or I have the game playing with my earphones, that's what I hear. I play with the volume here. I don't play this. This is more for, like I said, the recording. Same thing like A2, which is my secondary output. I put it to my second screen, which is my smaller LCD TV. So what that does is basically it plays the sounds through A2 output. So when I select it through my TV output. So if I want to hear, let's say I'm using my speakers and I'm playing a game, and in the background I want to hear a stream going on the TV, that's what I usually do. I hit the A2 output, and it's going to output in my earphones and on the TV in the same time, or on the TV only. That's my choice. So I usually keep it A1. Music, the same thing. If I want to monitor it on my earphones, or if I want to monitor it on my TV. Now the last ones, which are the virtual, these are physical, so whatever's plugged. Virtual ones, which are B1 and that, I don't use. You could use them. Like you guys see, there's equalizers in here you could actually use. There's different type of settings you could use, you could play with here. So lots of features. Same thing with the record. You could decide what you record. If you want to record all of the bands, one of the bands only. And these actually affect the recording level. So how I made it work is in conjunction with Windows setting. This was the bane till actually I think Ivy Mike pointed it out in Bone Junkie, so big thank you to you guys. So if you go here, system sound, especially for this, what I did is if you go in sounds, that's your microphone, choose output device. I chose the video voice meter. That's basically your default device. You could choose any of these. I kept that one. And then if you go here, you get a cutout list of different stuff. So you have your OBS, which I use the auxiliary VO. So that basically what happens is that whatever I do on the OBS and that doesn't really affect what I'm listening to. I don't have anything default here in output because I don't need another mic there. Steam client and voice meter, I left it on default. So that basically picks up, like I said here, speaker audio VIO. That's my thing. And system sounds, I left it on default. So they play on this, which if we come back here is this main one. Oop. I try to keep them as close to 0 as possible. It gives me a real-time sound, not keeping it in the red. So that was that. But now, if I do a play in the background of this, we have our Google. Our Google, what I came to set, and sometimes you got to come and reset it. If you close your browser, that's the only down thing I noticed. Is you could come, instead of making it play, let's say on the Sony TV, which is going to make it pop out now, like you guys saw, the sound dropped from here and is now going to be playing through here. Just need to do a quick refresh on that, because when you do change your output, you got to do a little refresh there. Where is it? Where did you go? So yeah, I basically have to do, so I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna reopen it. Go to channel again. Oh, come on. There we go. So if we bring it up for you guys, once I hit play and I unmute. Damn. I hate how it does that. So we have it there, and it's gonna play basically through here. It's gonna play now through the default audio. Which is gonna be my main game. But what I do, let's mute this. Sorry about that. Let's get this back up here. Is it's playing basically, I put it to the virtual cable. What that does, so we don't need that anymore, is when I play my output, it plays it there. Instead of playing it on my stream, it plays it there, and it's basically going through the Discord app. So I could basically listen to in the background like a video or whatever to myself, while you guys don't hear it unless I keep the I unmute the Discord thing. So that's one thing I do when I do the lurk and play or do my videos. That's how I could listen to actually you guys without doing that. And as you guys see, it's written in Discord chat because it's the same one I use for my Discord chat. Let's turn this off. So Discord chat is basically set to that. So I could come in here, and while people are talking in Discord, I could make them hear. Let's say if I don't want you guys to hear, I could just mute that. But also, if that's we're talking in there and I want to mute them without muting them for you guys, because I don't want to hear them, or I want to hear something else or whatever, I just undo the output and nothing gets recorded there. in here. So basically, that's how I set up my banana meter, separate the sounds. So basically, this becomes my anything that's browser, Discord output that I could basically set the volume. So if some guy, if they're on my Discord, I could just do the little fine tuning, but I could come and do the tuning here, and I could decide where I want to hear them, mute them if I need to. Without having to go in Discord chat or on OBS and mute them, so you guys could hear them, but I could not hear them in my thing. If ever whatever happens, if I feel like doing that, these could be used for extra outputs. If you guys have speakers and whatever it is, you could do that. Main one I use for the game. That's what I suggest you use the main one for. Auxiliary is basically a monitoring, if you want, that I use for epidemic sounds, so you guys hear it. Damn, it doesn't want to do the sliding thing. So you guys hear it from here. This is where the sound comes in. It comes into my speakers, but I auto generate the volume, so I could have a steady volume that's a little loud for you guys. And that's actually at the right setting where I set it here, and then in my earphones I could bring it down where it's just barely hearable or not hearable. I could mute it. So like that, let's say I'm playing Apex and I don't want to hear the music, but I want you guys to have the music. I just come here, I mute it for me, yet you guys hear it here. So that's how I do that separation of the sound. And here, like I said, the outputs, depends what outputs you have. First one I use is the Sony TV, which is basically where my earphones are plugged in. And what I do is I take my main as a default and I make it output to the A1, the first output, which is earphones. And then the second one, I put the TV. So then if I'm playing, let's say PS4, and I want to monitor the music, or I want to have the music playing in the background, so while I'm speaking in the mic itself, you guys hear in the background the music, so it does less of a contrast when I talk. It doesn't have a big impact on the stream itself. That's how I do it. I basically just uncliff this from A1, I kick A2, and then you guys are basically going to hear, if I come on Epidemic, back to here, and I do here, and I press play. See, my mic is basically picking up the music in the background right now. And then if I hit that, it mutes it, and my speakers in my ears are picking it up. So I could just turn it down like that, so I could barely hear it, yet you guys in stream get the full volume while I have it mute. I can mute it here, and you guys are still gonna have it there, so I don't hear it while you guys hear it. If I want to just monitor, see where the song's at, I just bring it up 2 seconds, bring it down. So that's how I use that. Let's pause that. Let's go back here. So yeah, that's how I do my splitting basically. And in OBS now, once all this is set up, if you guys have more questions, hit them in the comments. It's basically, I know Infinite was asking about that, how to separate the sound from gameplay, and that Grammy was asking that too. So that's how I do it with that. And in OBS itself, the few things you got to know is, one, when you go to settings, you got to go to your outputs. Now you have your streaming output. You got to select track 1. Very important. Only track 1 for streaming. Then when you do recording, you got to select another track. So what I do is, for recording, I usually just select, I select track 1 and 2. when I record, for the simple reason that if I do streaming while I record, I have two different settings on them, but I could choose what I want. So I just put 2 and 1 as audio tracks. You could just use 2. That's another thing. I didn't do anything here, but it's mostly here in the recording. Either select track 1 or track 2. The track 1, I selected it mostly for PS4. So when you guys hear me play with PS4, let's cancel this. If I go in PS4 and I do a quick fade in, now you guys are going to see the PS4 screen. So when I play this, my PS4 site, I forgot I can't really do that. But if I do this, my main game out basically becomes, how do we call it? Becomes the PS4 Elgato, which if I go here, there we go, the Elgato here. So that's why I have track 1. So when I'm playing the PS4, if I'm on PS4 chat with somebody and they're sharing their voices, if I record, it's going to record those voices also. That's the only reason why I have track 1. You don't need to have track 1 if you want to do it the other way. For the simple reason that the Elgato is going to pick up everything, depending on how you set it up. But I do it like that. And then if you come in properties, the other thing you have to come in here, you go to advanced audio properties and you have all your tracks here. So what I do is track 2 we selected as what we want to be recorded. So when you want to record, let's say you don't want to record your Discord chat, the way I separate, I just unclick it, which is the way I have it set it up. And now it's going to pick up basically only music, the mic, and the main game. That's the 3 things that are going to be picked up on there while I'm recording my things. Disregard the track 3 and 4. I don't remember why I'd done these. There was a reason, but I don't remember 100%. I think I'm just was testing something. And when you do your streaming on track 1, since you want everything to go through, you select track 1, you click on every box. It's just a click in, click out, and that's it. So that's on OBS. So it's basically just a right click here, advanced audio properties, and you come and select what you want. So right now, like I'm recording, so I'm going to be getting the main game. I'm going to be getting epidemic sounds coming in, but I'm not going to be getting whatever comes out of Discord chat. So I could have the Discord chat live talking, but I won't be picking it up or recording. So that's the quick short noob tutorial on the banana. If you have more questions, check out the link on my Discord. Jump in there if you want to PM me on Discord for more info, or in the comments below. I will be posting the link for the audio voice meter. Like I said, it's a donation software. So you could donate what you want. It's pretty simple. You just download, install. You just got to look at what your stuff are. Set up tutorials, but this is mine noob tutorial on this. Hope it helped. Have a good one, and of course, as usual, stay noob, y'all. Stay noob.